Hello everybody. Today our topic of discussion is message authentication. As we know that in case of exchange of messages or in case of exchange of email or any official document, trust is an important issue, and in order to address the issue of trust, message authentication plays a very vital role, especially whenever we are talking about computer security. Authentication plays a vital role. Message authentication is concerned with protecting the integrity of a message. In order to get the appropriate meaning out of the message, integrity of a message plays a very vital role. At the same time, we need to validate the identity of the originator of a message. Unless and until originator is not clear, we cannot trust on the message, or we can say that we cannot validate the message. Then non-repudiation of origin, or you can say that a dispute resolution. Sometimes whenever the source of a message is unknown, or in some cases a dispute may arise due to the uncertainty related to the message. In that case, authentication will play a vital role. Looking at all the three security requirements, three options, three alternatives are available with us in order to address the authentication of message. First one is a message encryption. Just go and perform the encryption on a message or a cryptographic technique on a message and just have an authentication of a message. Second option is add a message authentication code or a MAC code in a message and verify the MAC code on the receiver side in order to get the authenticity of a message. Third, and the most popular, rather even in today's scenario, this hashing is applied on a message. Apply the hash function on a message so that we can find out the authenticity in a message. Let us have a quick look on each techniques one by one. First one is the message encryption. Message encryption itself provides a measure for message authentication. You can use a symmetric or asymmetric key encryption to understand whether the message or for authentication of a message. So first we'll have a look on symmetric encryption. As we know that receiver know the sender and sender knows the receiver, and both are having a key shared among them. Since only sender and receiver, they are well aware of the key, no question of involvement of third party. Known content cannot be altered as keys available between the sender and the receiver. If the available message has a suitable redundancy and a checksum and appropriate structure, it's really easy to detect the changes in a message made by a third party. Just have a quick look on how we can perform the confidentiality and the authentication part by applying the symmetric key cryptography. Let's have a message M. Encrypt a message M by using some encryption algorithm E. Apply some common secret shared key K. Send it to the receiver. Receiver will receive the encrypted message with respect to the key K. In mathematical term, you can write it as Ek of M. The destination will receive Ek of M. On the receiver side, will apply the decryption algorithm D. With respect to the same key K, we are going to get the message M. It provides a confidentiality as only party A and party B share a common secret key K. It provides a degree of authentication as it can come from A only, as nobody is having a key, and in between it has not been transit or altered. At the same time, we are expecting that it should have some kind of formatting and redundancy, but this particular technique cannot provide us the signature. Receiver could forge a message and sender could deny he has sent a message. So signature is very important whenever we are talking about authentication. We'll see the digital signature and digital signature properties afterwards, because uh, digital signature algorithm is a separate part. But just have a quick look on digital signature. Lack of trust is a major concern whenever we are talking about a digital signature. Digital signature will provide the ability to verify the author, the date and the time when the message has been signed. It authenticates the content of a message, and digital signature has the ability that it should be able to verify the dispute as it is verifiable by the third parties. Okay, so it is included in the authentication function with some additional capabilities. Some of the properties of digital signature are: it must depends on a message to be signed, it must use some unique information of sender in order to prevent the forgery and the denial from both the sender and the receiver. Digital signature should be easy to produce. It should not be too complicated to produce, otherwise people won't be prefer to use digital signature. At the same time, it should be relatively easy to recognize and verify the digital signature. At the same time, it should be computationally infeasible to forge with a new message for existing digital signature and with a fraudulent digital signature for some or other given message. And it is practical to save the digital signature in a storage. These are the essential properties of the digital signature. For message encryption, if you would like to use the public key encryption system or asymmetric key cryptography, encryption provides no confidence of sender since any potential knows the public key. However, if sender signs a message using their private key, then encrypt with the recipient's public key. Please try to understand here combination of public key and private key, or a strength of a public key cryptography we are using in order to address both the issues of confidentiality and authentication. In order to apply this, we can address both secrecy and authentication. Again, need to recognize the corrupted message, but at the cost of two public key uses on a message. Just see. Here, message M is encrypted by using public key of P, and we are going to send the encrypted form of message by using public key of the receiver, that is B here. So we can write here as EKU of P applied on the message M. It will be passed to the receiver B. Now B will apply the private key for the decryption as encryption was done with the help of public key of P. As soon as the receiver or party B will apply the private key of itself, the message will be decrypted. It gets the confidentiality. It finds that the message is secret, but here it does not provide the authentication as the public key of receiver, that is party B, is available to all. So you cannot guarantee that the message has been sent by party A. Another option for achieving the authentication or signature is that message M is encrypted by using private key of sender, that is A. So we can write here as encryption algorithm E will apply the private key, that is KRA. So receiver will receive message M encrypted with private key of sender, that is EKRA of M. As soon as receiver will receive this, receiver will apply public key of the sender, that is A, that is KU of A, KUA. So receiver will get the original message M. It proves that the message is sent by the sender, the legitimate sender. Here you cannot guarantee the confidentiality because public key of the party A or sender A is available with all, so anybody can read the message. Here you can guarantee that the message has not been altered in transit. Okay, as we know that only A can encrypt a message, as private key of A is available with only A. So here we get the authentication and signature, but again confidentiality is missing here. In order to get both confidentiality, authentication and the signature, you need to use the pair of private key and the public key, right? What we are going to do, we are going to use the public key of receiver for making it confidential. Before that, what we are going to do, message M will be encrypted by using private key of sender in order to get the authentication. Now what would be the message we'll have? We'll have EKRA of M. That EKRA of M will have the application of again encryption algorithm by using public key of the receiver, that is B, KUB. What we are going to have? We are going to have EKUB of EKRA of M. It will pass to the receiver. Receiver will first apply private key of itself in order to check whether the message is secret one or not, whether the message achieves the confidentiality or not. So receiver will apply KRB. By applying the decryption algorithm B using private key of the receiver, will eliminate the last encryption, that is encrypted by using public key of P. Now we have EKRA of M, which will be decrypted by using public key of A in order to check whether the message is authenticated one or not. After applying the public key of A, yes, if things get matched, it means that the message is encrypted, the message is authentic, message is signed and confidential also. So it provides both confidentiality as well as authentication. Public key of receiver provides the confidentiality, whereas private key of sender provides the authentication and the signature. So this is all about the message encryption in order to achieve the message authentication. In the next lecture, we are going to discuss the message authentication code. Thanks for the day.